is always number one. Over 18s. Gamble responsibly. Visit gamblingcare.ie.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power. Ready for your next big move? The trip from the fridge to the couch. Gamble responsibly. Gamblingcare.ie.
You're welcome back. Manchester United still leading AC Milan by a goal to nil midway through the second half of their Europa League last 16 first leg at Old Trafford. Amad Diallo, the 18-year-old, scoring just a couple of minutes after coming on at half-time. It is 7:30 on a Thursday. John Giles is with us. Good evening, John.
Evening, Nathan.
Talking to Manchester United, they have finally appointed a director of football. Well, a technical director and a football director. Darren Fletcher is in as technical director, and John Murtagh has been promoted to the role of football director. Is this something that was badly needed at United?
I don't know what it is, Nathan. I don't know what the job is or what the job entails.
For Fletcher, well, I think it's a more of a long-term approach to the squad and the development of the squad and to the purchase of players, that they're not just reliant on the manager making the final decision.
Well, I don't agree with that. I mean, the manager has to make the final decision because that's in my opinion, 90% of the job, Nathan. You know, all managers have a vision in their head, if that's the right word, of what they want to do on the pitch, the team they want on the pitch. And obviously the players are the main part of that. The players you get in, first of all, they have to have the power, in my opinion, to get the players out they don't want and get the players in they do want. And I found that in my short term in management, it's 90% of the job, Nathan.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a vision of what they want on the pitch, right? And the only way to fulfill that vision, if that's the right word, is to get the players in that you want. Now, if somebody else is getting the players in for you, it's no longer your vision. So I don't know what roles these lads are going to play, you know, because you're talking about John Murtagh. I just have it written down here. He was head of football development, and he will now step up, the 47-year-old, from his job as head of football development to fill a role the club have been considering for several years, and he now will be in charge of day-to-day football operations and report to United chief Ed Woodward. Now, where does Solskjaer come into that, Nathan?
Well, does it not allow Solskjaer more time to focus on coaching and being around the first team rather than the business side, which I'd imagine has become incredibly complicated, trying to put together transfers, trying to push through deals, work with agents, that actually him just being able to focus on the football and leaving the rest of it to somebody else?
Yeah, well, okay, well, who's responsible for bringing the player in? Does he get the last say in it, Solskjaer?
Possibly not.
Well, then he's not manager. It's 90% of the job, Nathan, to get the players in that you want. Now, if that's handed over to somebody else, how did Manchester United exist in Fergie's time without a director of football in that?
Well, he would have worked with David Gill.
Yes, exactly. He worked with David Gill, and David Gill, in my opinion, did exactly as he wanted him to do. And his brother was his main scout. Right. So he was in charge of it all the way. If he said to Gill, through his brother, this fella's a really top-class player, is what you want, David Gill would get it for him. Nothing has changed in that way, Nathan, except that it changes in the club because the chief Edward.
Yeah, Ed Woodward, yeah.
Ed Woodward, sorry, would want to be in charge of it. Actually, he's in charge of that now. Solskjaer's not in charge of who's coming in and who's going out, from the way I read it.
Yeah.
So that's madness. Who's going to judge the player?
Well,
Solskjaer doesn't see him. Solskjaer doesn't pick him out. He's relying on people that he hasn't employed. If you read that there, he's responsible to Edward, the new lad.
Yeah,
he doesn't say he's responsible to Solskjaer.
Well,
so whose judgment, if you're bringing the player in, whose judgment is it going to be to bring the player into Manchester United?
Well, I imagine it'll be a group decision that they will...
Yeah, but Nathan, I'll have to interrupt you there. You can't have a group decision on players or team selection, right? In my opinion. That's down to the manager. The players that you bring in are his responsibility, and they're fulfilling the vision that he has for people on the field. Then it's up to him to say, yes, he is good. That's my best. If you've got 18 players, that's my best team. That's the manager's responsibility. That's what you employ him for. When managers are employed by a football club, they're employed, or should be employed, for their expertise. Now, if you have other people picking the team and picking the players, it's no longer his expertise. It's Woodward's expertise, or this new lad coming in.
But is it just then a different type of job than it was even when Alex Ferguson was there? Because if you were to take an example, say, at Manchester United, where Solskjaer doesn't get the final decision, maybe Solskjaer, say, this summer wants to sign a Dele Alli and spend 80 million to bring Dele Alli in, and then Solskjaer is fired in November, and the next manager decides, well, actually, Dele Alli isn't the player for me, but they've just spent 80 million on him. I want to get rid. That there's a huge loss. Whereas actually telling the new manager,
well, who's going to make the decision on Dele Alli?
Well, that the new manager coming in is told, well, Dele Alli is here and he's staying. We've made a decision.
Before the new manager comes in Solskjaer's case, if he's not allowed to pick the thing, then he is going to get the sack. He is going to get the sack. And what I'm saying is, in Ferguson's time, which is the most successful time they had, what they had was Ferguson to be in charge of that. With Gil doing what he wanted to do, his brother being the scout, he brought in the players that he wanted to bring in. And if they failed, then it was his fault. But if you said to Solskjaer, okay, Solskjaer brings in Dele Alli, or is not allowed to bring in Dele Alli, and he brings in somebody else, he's going to get the sack anyway. But he believed in the club saying, well, I didn't pick that player.
And when you were...
a manager can always pick the wrong players.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But he's a better chance because he's employed for his expertise to pick the right player rather than somebody coming in as the scout or Woodward.
When you were making those sort of decisions as a manager, would you have spoken to other people? Would you have taken advice on it? Would you have ever involved other people in that final decision-making process?
Well, I was only at West Brom at club level, Nathan, and one of the reasons I left because I wasn't in charge of that.
Right.
And the first year I was there, we didn't have any money to buy anybody, right? But we were always looking for a striker, and the lad at Ipswich that played for England, and I can't think of his name at the moment. He went to Ipswich. I can't think of his name. But anyway, I went to see him when he played for another club.
Right.
And at the time, I think he's a good player. But the director said, what they used to say, well, Paul Mariner, very good player. He went to Ipswich, right? And the first thing they said to me when we were going for promotion, we won't get promotion with this team, we need somebody up front. I said, yeah, we'll go for somebody. Well, we can't, we've no money. We got into the first division, and again, Paul Mariner's name was mentioned. And I said, well, there's no point in talking about Paul Mariner or anybody else. We've got no money to get him. So that was at the board meeting. The next day, one of the directors came in to see me, and he said, I think we should go for Paul Mariner, you know.
Yeah.
I said, look, there's no point in talking about it. If we've no money, we've no money. And he said, well, I think we could raise the money for Paul Mariner. And I said, now, hang on a minute. And he said, so what's happening here? I said, if I fancy the player and you don't, we've no money. But if you fancy the player, we do have money.
Yeah.
So I was stymied in that way, as a lot of managers are. Now, times have changed now because you got the director of football, right? A lot of clubs have a director of football. The director of football is responsible to the directors. He's not responsible to the manager, Nathan. So again, the managers' hands are tied because the board will say, yes, we're buying Joe Bloggs. And Joe Bloggs doesn't turn out to be any good. It's the manager that gets the blame. That's why I'm going to the thing that you said earlier. If you leave it to the guys who is not the manager, the manager, if he doesn't do well, is going to get the sack.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the manager can get his players in and still get the sack, but at least he can say, my own fault, I got the players in and they were no good.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, for the manager, it is.
I just don't know what this lad's thing, but what it does say in the paper is that he is now responsible to Woodward. He's not responsible to Solskjaer. So it's taken away. You see, like in my time of football, my experience was the directors never ever wanted to give any manager the power to do what was needed to be done. Like Shankly, I think when he went to Liverpool, Johnny Morrissey was sold, but he built up his reputation there and was in charge. So was Don Reevy. I think when they get a certain amount of success, they get the power to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But most of them didn't, Nathan. That's the way it was. The directors wanted to be in charge of what was going on, and the manager could take the blame.
Yeah.
Now there's more money. Now there's more money in the football, and what they've introduced now is a director of football. But the director of football is the directors or the owner's director of football. He's not the manager's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think probably one of the reasons why the name has been changed, that an awful lot of them now aren't the manager, they're the head coach.
Yes. Well, that's fair enough. At least everybody knows that.
Yeah.
You know? But you'll find if the team is not doing well and the head coach is not in charge of the players he gets in, he's going to get the sack.
Yeah.
But at least they're not kidding anybody that the manager is the manager. Because even if say so, in any of the ones that get sacked, the managers, Nathan, to be honest, they can't say, well, I wasn't in charge of it, the situation. Because a lot of people would say, well, why did you take the job in the first place? But
yeah.
Some people are desperate for it. There's an awful lot of people out there who want to be managers with very few clubs, Nathan. So they take a chance on it. They say, well, I'll see what I can do. But in my opinion, if you don't have the power to do with your staff, players coming in and players going out, it's very difficult to be successful.
Manchester United playing at the moment. They're still 1-0 up against AC Milan. A couple of minutes left in the Europa League at Old Trafford. John Giles live with us. You can get your text in 53106. We need to take a quick break. Stay with us, John.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power. Ready for your next big move? The trip from the fridge to the couch. Gamble responsibly. Gamblingcare.ie.
Spring is in the air, and change is in the air too.
So this weekend on News Talk, together with Champion Green, we're urging everyone to make supporting local a year-round habit as businesses prepare to reopen their doors.
Not only do you feel better when you support local, but you help support your local community too.
And if you're an SME, you can find free resources and a marketing toolkit at championgreen.ie.
So let's all feel good as we help local businesses in our community to recover in 2021.
News Talk and Champion Green, supporting local.
Sean, what's that thing going round the garden?
That is our new Husqvarna auto mower.
Auto mower?
Yeah, it's a robotic lawnmower from Husqvarna. Cuts the grass automatically, has GPS tracking and an app. Even works in the rain. I just thought, why spend time cutting grass when I could spend it with the family?
Great! You can put the dinner on, so...
No can do, love. Have to paint the man cave.
Husqvarna auto mower. Never mow again. Learn more at husqvarna.ie.
Are you a small business facing financial difficulty due to COVID-19 or Brexit? Microfinance Ireland, a government-funded not-for-profit lender, is here to help. We provide business loans of up to €25,000 to small businesses with less than 10 employees and annual turnover of less than €2 million who've been unable to secure finance from banks or other lenders. For more information, visit microfinanceIreland.ie or talk to your local enterprise office. Microfinance Ireland, supporting you through times of uncertainty.
You mightn't be able to get to Cheltenham this year, but at bar1racing.com, we're bringing Cheltenham to you. Best odds guaranteed, extra places and lots more. Check out our app now, bar1racing.com, where the customer is always number one. Over 18s. Gamble responsibly. Visit gamblingcare.ie.
Keep your business connected with Air Mobile, Ireland's largest 5G network. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy S20 FE 5G or iPhone 11. That's a free smartphone with 99% 4G coverage, no limits data and unlimited calls and texts. For more, call our dedicated business team on 1-800-503-703 or visit air.ie/business. Air. Let's make possible. Unlimited allowance subject to fair use. Available on selected plans to businesses with up to 9 employees. Pricing excludes VAT. For full terms, see air.ie.
Support Irish retail by shopping with Ireland's #1 online store, mixgarage.com. With guaranteed next day delivery across a massive range of items, you'll find everything you need for your car, home, garden, staycation, and so much more. Sign up to our sale alerts to access exclusive discounts and get €5 off your first order. Join almost 1 million happy customers and shop Irish with mixgarage.com for Brexit-proof shopping delivered straight to your door. Visit mixgarage.com today and buy Irish.
A beautiful bouquet of flowers. It can say more than words ever could. To celebrate, congratulate, or just let someone know you're thinking of them. At flowers.ie, we know every bouquet is special. So every order we receive is hand-picked, arranged with care, and delivered with love across Ireland. We even send a video before it's delivered, so you know it's just right. Say it with flowers at www.flowers.ie. Rated 5 stars on Trustpilot.
DMX Dublin is back. And this year, we're bringing Ireland's largest marketing event to you, virtually on March 25th, featuring incredible keynote speakers from Byron Sharp himself to Sil Saller and Mark Ritson, and other great speakers to be announced. DMX Dublin brings you the best, online, on one stage, in one day. For anyone looking for real insights to deliver real impact in their organisations, DMX Dublin is the must-attend marketing conference of the year. Sign up now at dmxdublin.com, supported by Media Central and News Talk.
Treat Mom this Mother's Day with great offers at your local Super Value, like Super Value fresh Irish strip loin or sirloin steak, save 33%. Fresh flour starting from only €7. Cadbury Roses or Heroes 290 gram, now half price. And until Sunday, Griffon Prosecco Frizzante 1.5 litre Magnum, €15. Super Value, believe in low prices. Always drink responsibly.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power. Fake crowd noise? The Emirates never sounded so good. Gamble responsibly. Gamblingcare.ie.
AC Milan have equalised deep into injury time at Old Trafford. Manchester United won. AC Milan won. The full-time whistle gone. The Danish defender Simon Kjær with a close-range header. Dean Henderson probably should have done a bit better. So 1-1 ahead of the second leg next week. Already this week in Europe, John, we have seen both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo go out of the Champions League. First time in 16 years. Neither of them will appear in the quarter-finals. And the next generation have arrived in Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland, who has now scored 20 Champions League goals as a 20-year-old. What have you made of Haaland so far?
I think he's brilliant, Nathan. I think Manchester United were on him on stairs. Is he the same agent as Pogba?
Mino Raiola, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think was a time when they were having some disputes, or he was, the scout was, with Manchester United, and put this lad away from Manchester United. He didn't encourage him to go to Manchester United.
Yeah.
But top class, really top player, Nathan.
He does seem to be
and should get better, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, that while Manchester United and any club probably would have been happy to sign him before he went to Dortmund, he's at Dortmund this season. He's delivering in the Bundesliga, now the Champions League. He may go this summer. He may stay in another league. But when you look at him, would you expect wherever he goes, he is going to go on and be a superstar?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, yeah. He's one, if you were a manager now, you'd pay whatever price that needed to be paid.
What is it he's got?
Well, he's pace, he's strong, he's good control.
All of it then.
all of the things that you need to be a top striker. I think he's brave, Nathan, and there's nothing to stop him. I mean, he's scoring goals brilliantly now at the highest level.
Yeah.
And how old is he, say, Nathan?
20.
20. Well, players don't usually reach their peak until they're about 27, 28. So, he's a good bit to go as a long-term buy for any of the top clubs, Nathan.
You talk about bravery. There were question marks about Ronaldo's bravery for Juventus turning his back on the wall. Is that unforgivable?
Yeah, but I wouldn't put all the blame on him, Nathan. I mean, anybody that's seen Ronaldo over the years, you wouldn't put him in a wall. That's not his game at all.
Yeah.
So it's. I mean, the big coach there is Pirlo, one of the greatest players of all time, midfield players, Nathan. And actually, it's a bad sign actually for his coaching abilities to put Ronaldo in the wall.
Right. It's a lack of organisation.
Yeah, you wouldn't do it. And I saw the picture. I only saw the picture of it, and he's not the only one jumping. There's one or two of the other players. Like in a wall, in my opinion, anyway, Nathan, playing football, you put the bravest lads in the wall.
Yeah.
And what you tell them, you don't move. You know, you've got to take it on the head. You head it away, or whatever. You have to take it, right? That's what you have to do. And you can't break up. You can't be. What you do now, which is okay at times. The four in the wall jump, Nathan.
Yeah.
But that's not. That's to stop it going over their heads, because most of the free kicks now are going over the wall's heads. So you jump in unison for that. You can practice that. And like something I said to you last week about things in coaching, actually a couple of weeks ago, it was about Frank Lampard. It was a bad sign, a short corner kick that was allowed to happen. And in the wall last night, from Pirlo's point of view, if he's the coach, the first week you're in a club, Nathan, you sort that out. Do you know what I mean? Like, again,
so you're not leaving it to chance that whoever...
No. You practice that. See, there's certain things in football that you can do before you go on the pitch when you're a coach, right? And I think I said it to you a couple of weeks ago, that you know before you go out, there's going to be corner kicks for you, corner kicks against. Free kicks at the edge of the box for you and against. Throw-ins, forward and against. Corner kicks, forward and against. Now, you can practice that during the week. You can practice that. You don't need the match, because when the match starts, you don't know what's going to happen. You can't legislate for everything. But you can legislate for that type of thing, that free kick, right? You have a wall, you practice that wall, you tell them what you want, you know the best guys in it, right? You stay in the wall, and you don't, unless you're going to jump together, you stay where you are, and that's what the wall is for, to protect the ball going into the back of the net. So sometimes you have to take it in the head, take it on the chest, take it anywhere. But that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So if you're putting Ronaldo in the wall, and he's never defended in his life, because that's not what made him a great player, it's a bad sign on Pirlo, in my opinion. First of all, for the wall to be jumping, and second of all, for Ronaldo to be in the wall.
Yeah.
It just shouldn't happen, because free kicks are free kicks, and you're going to get them and you're going for and against, and those are things you can practice. And I know I'm repeating myself now, but it's so important, because you hear the tactics and 2 at the back and 3 at the back in the middle. When you're a manager, you get the basics right. And that's corner kicks, free kicks. You don't allow any short corner kicks against you, no quick free kicks. That's what you want to do, and catch the opposition asleep. But you never go asleep. And watching that yesterday, the picture of it, where they scored from it, it's just unbelievable that this could happen in a club like with Ronaldo in the wall.
Yeah. All our football coverage on Off the Balls with thanks to Paddy Power. For information on responsible gambling, visit gamblecare.ie. Just briefly before we finish up, John, Liverpool got their victory last night. It's remarkable. We've spoken about it week on week, the collapse that they have gone through. They got Fabinho back into midfield last night alongside Thiago.
Yeah.
I know they've had ridiculous injury problems at the back. Should Jurgen Klopp have kept Fabinho in midfield and just gone with a couple of kids at the back? Would that have been a better solution for the past few weeks, with the protection that Fabinho could give, rather than moving him out of midfield and sort of having a double whammy?
Well, everything is better in hindsight. Now, I must say, now, when he was doing what he was doing, for what it's worth, I totally agreed with him.
Right.
Totally agreed with him. And they played well last night. There was a lot of good players. I think they need just 1 or 2 wins like last night to get back going again, Nathan. I think, and if they get a couple of the players back, which I'm sure they will, you would get good odds on them now winning the Champions League.
Do you think it's a possibility? Because looking at them against Fulham on Sunday, they looked a shadow. Everything that was good about them last season just seemed to be gone.
Yeah, but was back last night. That's football, Nathan. It goes quickly, it can come back quickly. They've had a really bad time with injuries. It's been an unusual situation. Never before in the history of football have we seen anything like it, where your players are injured, you're coming back after a 3-week break, and all the various things that's upset Liverpool. And I think they've had more injuries than anybody else. But I think they'll be worth a few bob or two on the Champions League.
Thiago has been suffering a lot of criticism since he arrived. Hasn't lived up to expectations. There have been comparisons with Juan Sebastian Veron at Manchester United, a quality player, but just wrong player, wrong club, wrong time. Is that the case, do you think, with Thiago?
No. I think the situations are totally different, Nathan. I think when Veron went to Manchester United, we hadn't had the virus situation. I don't think Manchester United had all the injuries that Liverpool have had this year. I think it was a totally different situation. I think, when he was brought into Manchester United, expect to do what everybody expected him to do, and he didn't succeed. But in Thiago's case, I mean, he didn't walk into the Liverpool team of last year. He's walked into a very, very difficult situation to get settled in. The club is in turmoil, really, with the injuries they've had, the virus situation, not having a rest. All those things Veron didn't have to walk into or play into at that particular time. I think Thiago is a good player, and I think he will prove to be a good player for Liverpool, especially when they get all their players back.
John, great stuff as always. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Yeah. Thanks, Nathan.
John Giles there with us every Thursday on Off the Ball. If you miss any of that, just subscribe to the podcast or the Football Show podcast on the OTB Sports app. So Manchester United conceding in injury time, a 1-1 draw against AC Milan. Also a 1-1 draw for Rangers away at Slavia Prague. We're going to be talking to Peter Crouch next.
Get the latest News Talk podcasts at newstalk.com and on the News Talk app.
A lot has changed. With more of us working remotely, the way we communicate has had to change too. At Innovate, we're leading that change, partnering with Cisco to bring you WebEx Calling, a complete business phone service in the cloud. With WebEx Calling, your teams can stay connected anywhere, on any device. And with built-in Cisco security, you know you can trust it. For a free consultation, visit innovate.ie. Innovate, the IT solutions people.
Harvey Norman are your home appliance specialists with big deals on big brands like the Bosch 8kg heat pump dryer, now €589, save €40, and claim a further €35 cashback. Or the Samsung Graphite dishwasher, now $519, save €80. And at Harvey Norman, we're matching all competitors' prices, even their sale prices, so why shop anywhere else? Shop online or safely in our spacious stores for essential technology and appliances. Harvey Norman, your home appliance specialists. Go! Cashback T's and C's apply. See online.
Here's a quote about better. Always try for better. Unless you always want to try for average, which sounds like my kids. Well, one of my kids, and you know who you are. Now, for a better quote, go to 123.ie and save 10% when you get a new car insurance policy online. And you can quote me on that. 123.ie. Give better a try.
Acceptance criteria, T's and C's apply. 10% off new policies only. 123 Money Limited Trading is 123.ie is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. RSA Insurance Ireland DAC provides 123.ie car and home insurance.
Remember Rufus? Hello. He's our hand-washing hero. Ta-da! And he's here to help young children learn the 5 steps to good hand-washing that can keep us all safe from harmful germs. Ugh. Rufus knows it's important to wash your hands regularly, especially after using the toilet, coming in from outside, and before eating. For more activities, including our downloadable Rufus storybook, visit safefood.com.